Hmm. Well. Hi, everybody. My name is Mo Hagan, live here at canfitpro in Markham, Ontario. And hope your week is going great. This is the last week of, I'm not going to say the last week of summer, but last week of August. And it's great to be with you again. We call this Facebook Live, Lunch and Learn. And I am here with the fabulous Dione Mason. So, Dion, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, always great to have you here. When you're here, we always have incredible conversations. And today's conversation is all about this incredible woman. So, Dion, for those who may not know her, is the latest recipient of one of the most distinguished awards at canfitpro Toronto, which we just had 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks ago. I guess I've lost track of time. But at the opening ceremonies at canfitpro 2019, this incredible woman received the Delegates' Choice New Presenter of the Year. High five. So we're going to dive in and talk about that in a moment. But I just want to introduce you to Dion, give you a little bit of background, and then I've got a few questions for you. And then this is your opportunity as our celebrity and guest today to share your passion around fitness and all the things that you're doing. There's so many things you're doing. You have such a diverse career, which is super exciting, and you're going to learn all about that. But let me tell you a little bit about Dion. So not only is she the recipient of the Delegates' Choice New Presenter of the Year, she is also the 2017 Fitness Professional of the Year in the category of fitness instructor, correct?
That's right.
And this is, for those who collect them, this is the cover shot of the September-October 2017 magazine. And you can check out your story about what led you to receive this award. So now, like what I always say is now you've got bookends and they're crystal. So Dion has many accolades behind her name, but I just want to highlight a few things. And this comes from your feedback as well as a presenter now, is that you captivate audiences because of your energy, your creativity, your style, and your focus. Not only by helping participants achieve their fitness goals, but you do it in a way that touches so many people because of your amazing passion and purpose around making fitness fun. So that's, I think, one of the things you're best known for. You can't help but have fun with this energy, and I felt that. And you were just, not only that, but you rock a great fashion on stage as well.
Thank you.
In your community, you've been featured in over 100 charity events, and you've led many initiatives around that promote health and wellness. We're going to talk about one of your favorite foundations, the one that you've created, in a moment. And you've been a fitness instructor since 1994.
1999. Actually.
1999. Yeah. I don't want to age you.
Yes, I was born and then I became an instructor. Yeah.
Born and then became an instructor. I like how you say that. I'll have to use that next time.
Yeah.
And then you became a personal trainer a short number of years after that as well.
Yes.
So you've been in the industry for quite some time.
I mean, it's been wonderful. I don't forget, we'll talk a little bit more about how I started, but I think like most people, I didn't like a lot of times people start in the industry because they were a fitness fanatic or they were really, really passionate about fitness to begin with, and then they got into it. I actually was a bit of a lazy bum, to be honest.
Lazy bum?
Yeah, I came from the corporate world. I had a business diploma, and I was pretty much in a cubicle most of the time. And what happened was in the corporate, the area that I was in, they had a corporate gym. And it was a modest gym, and I would go there now and again, on again, off again. And the coordinator said to me, I noticed that you follow pretty well, Have you thought about being a fitness instructor? Well, I burst out laughing. I'm like, all I could think of was Richard Simmons' Sparkle. And all I could think about was, like purple tights, very shiny, very like, nah, not
or
for
short
me.
Shorts.
Yeah, not for me. I have a real job. And she persisted. She didn't give up. She asked me again, and she said, I think you would do well at this. And also part of the reason was that she was teaching all the classes at the gym and needed a break. I said, tell you what, I'll train you if you can just take over 1 or 2 classes for me. And then she said the magic word, which was, I'll give you a free membership if you would, mentor with me. I was like, free? How hard can this be? A couple jumping jacks and squats? How hard is this? So
Wow.
that led me to training under her.
Yeah.
And I realized, okay, it was a lot more complicated than a couple
Mhm.
jumping jacks. But then after a while, I was teaching to basically my fellow coworkers and the people that were in that building. I started noticing the impact that I was creating. Because I mean, I'm at a cubicle and there's nothing wrong with working in an office environment. But what I was doing, I didn't really see the connection of what I was doing. Like for me, it's important no matter what you do, whether you're making a chair or in the fitness industry, I like to see where I've completed something, where I've built something. And I didn't see that when I was doing it. I was feeling I didn't like what I was doing at all. So when I would teach a class and I would literally see a change in that hour, people just, they'd be red in the face, but they were feeling good. I'm like, wow, I did something.
Oh,
I
wow.
felt like I felt accomplished.
Yeah.
So fast forward, the company basically downsized. I got laid off. And then I was thinking, well, now what? And I thought, okay, I'll just try to get another job. But I kept thinking, no, but I felt so good teaching. And that led to me looking more into it and deciding to get my certification.
Yeah.
And just kept going from there.
Well, before I ask you about how you started with canfitpro, first of all, I think you need to tell us who that person was that inspired you and persevered. What was her name?
Oh my goodness,
You
I just
remember?
had a brain burp right now. But it was with TriFit.
Oh, TriFit, great
Yeah.
organization, yeah.
Yeah, so they do
Wow.
corporate gyms.
Well, I want to say, whoever that is, you know, they may or may not know the life that they changed and the ripple effect that it's had on all the lives you've changed. So you know, it's nice to think back to the people that influenced us. I always remember Sharon. I don't know her last name, Oakville. She inspired me, as did Anita, and I don't remember Anita's last name at the moment either, but those two women got me started in fitness, and I'm so forever grateful. Both continued on. One became a pro trainer, and she still works today, I think, in Oakville at the rec center. But she was the one that mentored me and gave me my start, and I'm forever grateful. So even if you can't think of her name right now, I you know, there's the gratitude there.
Yeah.
And now you've been paying it forward.
I mean, I love to help people. I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, if you're starting out, come to my class. I'm happy to mentor you. And I
Good.
think we need to keep sharing and paying it forward.
Supporting. Absolutely. So why did you choose canfitpro for your certification? Tell us how you found canfitpro or why you chose canfitpro.
Well, I wanted to make sure that, I know that you have to have some sort of training or certification. She was great at mentoring me, but I wanted to have the full picture. So everything I do, I love to make sure I do the best I can. So I just started doing research, fitness certifications or fitness education. And canfitpro kept coming up at the top. And I mean, I compared a few other ones as well, but I was impressed with the fact that it was complete. I love the fact that, you know, you could complete it on weekends and in the evening. I love the fact that you're able to get a complete comprehensive understanding of the anatomy as well as how to teach a class. And I wanted to deliver people excellence. You know, I wanted to be able to do a good job, have the knowledge as well as bring my passion to it.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose it, as well as the fact that I love the fact that there was continuing education. So coming to the conventions and learning through that way as well.
Yeah.
You know, so and I've loved it. I always tell people canfitpro for sure. I mean, it's great to always supplement.
Yeah.
But I think it's an important part because of the fact that it's not just, okay, learn this and then you're done.
And you're done.
It's like you were responsible to get credit so that you continue to learn and continue to be of benefit to your participants. So
Very good. And the one thing for those who might be listening and wondering, okay, I'm searching, I'm thinking, why canfitpro over another certifying body? Also, it's the only fitness instructor certification that has a practical component of evaluation. So yes, you get a practical experience through your training, but you actually have an evaluation that's practical as well as written. It's the only one in the world that actually requires that. And that's what you want to know, is that your practical skills are as up there as your academic skill, right?
I love the fact too that it was the largest in Canada, or is the largest in Canada, that was.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that when you do get an accreditation, it is recognized, it's well respected in the industry, and all those things were factors.
Yeah.
That I made my decision.
Oh, good for you. You have an amazing philosophy. A strong body leads to a strong mind, therefore a strong spirit. So how has that led you in your business as a fitness instructor and personal trainer? And perhaps that might tie into some of the other things you're doing. Tell us more.
Well, I believe it all comes together, mind, body, spirit. But I think it begins with your body. because your body, in my belief, is the vessel that carries who you are, what your purpose is, everything that you're trying to fulfill in your life. So just like we take the time to take care of our cars, which our cars become the vessel to take us where we want to be, our bodies is that vessel at the smallest scale. So that's why I believe it starts from the body, it impacts your mind, and therefore just brings about who you are, your spirit. So when I teach my classes, I let people know, listen, we're not just here to exercise. I don't believe you came here to exercise, because you can be in your living room and do that.
Yep, true.
You came here to be inspired. You came here to be energized. So you can go out there now and do whatever it is that you do that much more better. So to me, I'm always blessed and honored to be the vessel or to be the spark that reminds them that this body is the beginning for you to find out who you are, what your talents are, and how you can just make this world a better place. I know it sounds corny, but
It's not.
but I believe
It's
it.
eloquent and it's full, it's holistic. It's a really beautiful holistic philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And your confidence in knowing exactly how one leads to the other is for certain, which is great.
Yeah.
And you said, you know, it sets you into motion as far as everything else that you do and believe in your life. And you're sitting in front of what we call our canfitpro why wall. I don't know if your why is up there, but it's, you know, your purpose. And so you exist, you know, exactly, is to move people. And you start with the body because it moves the mind, and that, you know, soars the spirit and leads to all the other things. That's amazing.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Go right ahead.
When I realized my purpose, which simply is to raise the vibrations of people when I come into a room, is my purpose. And I remember once I was teaching a spin class, and one of my regulars, you know, she seemed a little bit subdued than normal. So something told me to just walk up to her after and ask, are you okay? You know? And I walked up to her, I'm like, are you okay today? You don't seem yourself. And she said to me, Dione, I just found out that I've been diagnosed with cancer. And I froze immediately, you know, just wanted to bring her in. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing here? I'm thinking to myself, if I had been diagnosed, I don't think I would want to leave, at least for the 48 hours. You're just in panic mode. And she said, you know, obviously you can't cure my cancer. But she said, when I come to your class, it just allows me to feel that much better. And to just deal with what she did. And at that moment, I realized, you know what, this is bigger than jumping jacks and squats. This is about really changing lives. And I recognize that I was given a gift to be able to get people to come into a room and just for that moment, if I can give them 1 hour to make it the best hour of their day, then let it be that.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Wow.
And
Is
there's
she
so
still in
many
your class
stories.
today?
That gym I no longer taught at, but you know, I don't know what happened after a while because I didn't have direct contact with her. But there's so many stories I've had where people have come up to me. I had no idea the impact that I made in them. Like another lady, she told me that her doctor prescribed her with all these pills that she had to take. And literally within 3 or 4 months after coming to my classes, she's like, don't tell my doctor. I stopped taking them all. And I'm like, wow,
your
like
class
all
was
these
her
high
medication.
blood pressure pills. And I'm like, you know what? Activity helps your body to heal itself. Right.
Absolutely, and manage itself the way it should. And so, not that we, you know, treat or mitigate disease or illness, but we know that there's stories out there of people who are able to actually manage their health. And you said something earlier before we came on to Facebook Live about health is your true wealth. Can you expand on that?
Well, it goes back
golden nugget.
Yeah, back to the mind, body, spirit. I was even just speaking recently at a business networking event talking about wealth as well. Not that I know everything about wealth, but I've seen one thing I noticed in the years that I've been doing personal training and group fitness is that I would notice that when you look at the habits of the top people, executives, I train a lot of different executives and wealthy people, is that they have the habit of physical activity. And you think about like Steve Jobs, he was into yoga.
Yeah.
You know, you look at
Richard Branson says that his number one thing before he does anything else in the day is exercise and meditation.
Yeah, and it got me thinking, all these people are in different industries, yet they have the same habits of regular physical activity. So your health is your wealth is not just something you put as a Facebook status or on your bumper sticker. It's an equation
It's an equation.
It's an
It is
equation.
Yeah.
Your health
Equals
equals wealth.
Wow.
Because it stimulates your mind, it allows you to be more productive in your what you
Mhm.
do. And it also leads not just to financial wealth, but happiness wealth.
Yeah.
You just feel better about yourself.
Or total wealth, because without your health,
Mhm.
what will all the money in the world do if you don't have your health, right?
Exactly.
And that, you say that, I've spoken in some of the banking organizations with private clients who are now transitioning from their careers into the term retirement, whatever that does mean.
Mhm.
And they can't live their retirement dreams. They can't travel, they can't get life, they can't get travel insurance because they don't have their health, they're lacking, they're not able to, have that security to leave home.
Wow.
Which is really sad when you spend your whole life, and that's what people would say. I spent 45 years sitting in this cubicle, doing my JOB, saving all my money so I could, live my life, and then they go to live it and they don't have their health. And they all say, I wish I knew now, or I wish I knew then what I know now.
Hindsight's 20/20,
Yeah,
right?
2020. But we also know it's never too late.
Yeah, that's true.
So let me ask you this. You started as a presenter only a couple years ago. So how did that happen? And how does it feel to be a presenter of the year?
Wow, it's it's words can't quite describe, but how that started was in becoming the 2017 Fitness Professional of the Year. The opportunity came up that I was able to, you offered me an opportunity to present. And like I said at my speech at the last convention, I was scared. I really was scared because I had a flashback. I thought of all the other presenters that have been on the canfitpro stage. I thought of like Sharon Mann and Richard Simmons and Silken Lawman and then Jillian Michaels, Billy Blanks, Sean T. I'm like, is she for real? Like, I don't think I'm anywhere close to, and the brilliance of Dr. Lenny Kravitz. I'm thinking of all of these presenters that have so much, high standards of knowledge and presentations that I just didn't feel that I measured up to that. And, it was through consultation with you and with Nana DeCombe that, that mentorship that helped me to see that, everybody has their own unique skills and gifts. Everybody brings something to the table differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I don't say prone, I should have said supine, or if I don't have all the technical, data, it doesn't matter. It's whatever my skill, whatever I can bring to the table that can inspire people is what matters. Yeah. So I just thought that through and realized, okay, I'm going to work on that. I started mentoring with Lawrence Piscontini to help me to present better and just learn what your skill is and then expand from that.
Love it. So you have to learn, you really do need to know what your unique position is, what your unique talent is. Get the mentoring, which you reached out to do. So I'd say the steps, if you want to become a presenter, is if you have the opportunity to be invited, say yes, then figure out how you're going to get there, because that's the magic. Simon Sinek, begin with why.
Exactly.
You could see the passion within you. It was a way to recognize you for what you did achieve, and you stepped into it. And then you stepped up to get what you needed, which for everyone's going to be different. And then you stepped out of the fear and into the opportunity. And you were magnificent. Part of the reason that you received the new presenter of the year was for your workshop, which was your Dance Fire, which was fabulous. You presented that again this year, but also for your standing ovation performance at Women Who Influence, which is an event that takes place originally at the canfitpro Toronto event, the international one. Stay tuned, because I think we're taking Women Who Influence on the road.
Ooh.
More information to come. But you were outstanding. And again, what did you do on that stage that also leaves clues to people who want to become a great presenter? You said you had prepared all this, but you got up on stage and you chose to, and the reason you chose to?
Yes, I was prepared to do this lovely, snazzy presentation. I thought, I can throw them some facts and figures and all this kind of stuff about from the career perspective, as a professional. But then literally like moments before we went on stage, I sat down, I was so nervous, and I just prayed, and I took a moment to meditate. And I said to myself, I think people are really here to hear my story, not just to give them, not there's anything wrong with putting up slides and stuff, but it's women who influence. And I thought, I'm just going to tell my story. And I can't get that wrong.
That's what you said.
I can't get my story wrong. And, and I just thought about all the women who influenced me to be who I am today and just share that story. And
It really did resonate.
I didn't realize how many people were impacted by it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I inspired some.
Well, you did, and you really set the theme, which was celebrate who we are as women who influence, and you stood in that, and it really did connect with people, so much so that, you got one of the few standing ovations on the day, but it was, and you could tell, I was in the back of the room, and you could just, feel the love that you gave and you got back in return. Speaking of love, I want to get into something that you're really connected to. You offer, first of all, let's touch base on what you do as a fitness professional, and then we'll get into your charity work. You offer a lot of services from boot camps to spinning to dance fitness. This is a tough question. What's your favorite to teach and why?
Ooh. Honestly, I don't have a favorite. I love the fact that I offer variety.
Okay.
So that way I don't ever get bored of any one.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I love the fact that no matter who the participant is, I can give them something that works for them.
Yeah.
Some people want, me to scream at them in a boot camp. Other people want to shake their booties in
Yeah.
a dance fitness class. Others prefer, no, I would rather just one-on-one training. So I just love the fact that I can offer people whatever they need in that moment.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to hold you to this. If you were told that you were only allowed to teach one class a week, what would it be and why?
It would have to be my Dance Fire class.
Okay,
Yeah.
why?
It's just so much joy when I get people to be uncomfortable and enjoy the moment. Like people who traditionally are like, I don't really dance. And I'm like, it's okay. Look, I'm being silly. You know, it's about moving. And then also with my Dance Fire class, I incorporate strength and conditioning because I think it's important. Yes, cardio is good, but I also want people to walk away and be stronger.
So it gives you everything you need.
Yeah.
Love it. So now I want to talk about your foundation because it's something you've set up and I was not even aware of this. So tell us what the Simunier Foundation is and tell us more about why you created it and where is it taking you today?
So Simunier Foundation the word Simunier is a Zulu word which means we are one or unity is strength. And the reason why I started the foundation was back in 2015, one of my bucket list goals was to play Mass at the Toronto Caribbean Carnival, or otherwise known as Caravana, it used to be called. So I had a great time. I jumped up, I was cute in my costume and all that great stuff. But then my business side, after everything was done, I was like, this is great for today, but then where do people go in October if they want to learn about Caribbean culture and the history of those of African and Caribbean descent? And I thought there must be some place. And I found that there was no place, there's no permanent structure like we have with other cultures. Like we have Jewish community centers, we have Native American centers, we have lots of other cultural centers, but there was no cultural center for the African and Caribbean community. So after reaching out to several other organizations I thought might be in the works of doing something of this nature, I decided, nobody is currently doing this. I thought, let me start, and then hopefully I'll be able to enlist help from other people. So that was part of the reason was I wanted to have a place where we can celebrate my culture of my parents and foreparents. The other reason also was being in the industry for so long, whenever I would go and teach classes or present to large audiences, I would look at the demographics and notice that it didn't reflect the demographics of Canadians as a whole. In fact, I'd be really literally looking and wondering where are Black people and where are people of color. So I thought, what can I do to get this message out that everybody should move their bodies, no matter what you look like. Everybody. And I saw how in some cases where I could see even some people in my family that weren't very active, how it kind of negatively impacted their mental health, their ability to move, their agility. And I just really wanted to get this message out. So that's also the main mandate of the foundation is to uplift and inspire people of African and Caribbean descent towards positive lifestyle changes, which includes health, which includes creating a center to celebrate culture. And from that came the birth of the Toronto Carnival Run, which I started 4 years ago.
Wow.
And just finished just a couple weeks before canfitpro convention. So my months have been crazy too.
Wow.
And that has been my baby.
How many people
And
participated this year?
This year we had close to 500 people. I started with 150 year one. So,
oh my gosh.
It's now like a little toddler. My baby is starting to walk.
Wow.
So,
Before you know it, your baby's gonna be a teenager.
I know.
Oh.
And to me, what's so fulfilling, I mean, it's great to see people participate, but I'm beginning to see more of a reflection of inclusion, more and more people, whether it's from a demographic perspective. I'm also great to see the age range, like our youngest runner was 4 this year, up to 70, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different wellness stages, and it's just amazing.
Congrats. So tell us if people want to get involved with you and your foundation or some of the events that are running, how would they get involved? We'll put the details, by the way, in the feed below, but.
Yeah, so Samuni Foundation, you can check it out at samunifoundation.org. The Toronto Carnival Run is torontocarnivalrun.com.
Okay.
And next year will be July. It's always the third week in July.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
And then proceeds from the run go to my foundation.
I have some experience with foundations, having been on a few, and I'm married to a lawyer who works and sets up foundations. It is not an easy task.
No.
And so really it's been a commitment from a place of great love. And you have quite the perseverance muscle, because your story, about overcoming and so I want to leave with a story, and I know this is something that if you were at canfitpro at the opening ceremonies, you said something about your story, about how as a young person you had to overcome and persevere through. Tell us what you said on stage that sort of helped you find fitness, or how fitness found you.
Yeah, so my family went through a lot of difficult time. My mother was very young, I'm a young mom, and she had my sister actually at the age of 13, my brother at 15. I came long years later, but our family went through a lot of struggles. I went through some childhood trauma as well as sexual abuse at a young age. And because of that, being so young when it happened, I clammed up, I became very shy, to the point where I actually developed a speech impediment, and I had a very severe stutter when I tried to speak. So, years later, I got therapy, what have you, but to go from somebody who was very shy and stuttered to becoming new presenter of the year, I just couldn't quite articulate how I felt in that moment. It just flashed back to where I was, as a child.
And how far you've come.
Yeah.
Wow. And we did capture that, and for everyone that was in the audience, there was not a dry in the place. And I think you have now a reputation for standing ovations, because you got one there too. Oh my gosh! Wow.
I didn't expect to share that, but I guess something just came over me, and I thought,
from the heart.
A lot of times you see somebody, and you think that they're invincible or that they're strong, and you don't realize that that's part of kind of what made me who I am, overcoming and persevering, and recognizing that I just don't believe in giving up. And I've been knocked down many times and made lots of mistakes through the years, but I just believe, sometimes you just gotta dust it off.
Get back
and
up
be like,
again.
That's all you got? Okay. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. So that means I know, the
You're
universe
good. You're okay.
has more plans for me to keep going.
So speaking of plans, last question. What's next for you in fitness, in life?
Oh, I'm a planner. My vision board is like.
So what's on your vision board?
So definitely more my foundation. I'm working towards getting the cultural center built. That's going to be a 10-year project.
Wow.
So I'm excited with that. I've been working with some architects and just trying to raise funds. Really is the biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
I would love to do more presenting. You've spoiled me, so
Good.
I'd love to do more presenting and be able to also connect with other conventions and connect with other fitness professionals. So that's also another step as well. And really, I really want to see more people, more inclusivity when it comes to fitness from a participation perspective. I think as professionals, there's a great diversity, but just letting people know that it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're at home, whether it's just walking down the street. I really wanted to get that message out to show people everybody should move their bodies.
Everybody should move their bodies, absolutely correct. And when you move your body, it moves everything else
Exactly.
and steers you in the right direction. Yeah, oh, that's so beautiful. Give me a hug. I'll turn this way, my chair spins. Thank you so much, Dione. So Dione Mason, live here at CanFit Pro this Tuesday. I'm so glad to end off August. It's been a big month for both of us to end off with you as our guest here today. So thanks so much. And I hope that you'll stay tuned on Tuesdays live at 12:30 with Mo. And for the next couple weeks, surprise, stay tuned. We'll post it. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye for now.